This show is brought to you by DF Studios Limited. Whether you're a business owner or entrepreneur, DF Studios will guide and assist you on the best ways to promote your brand digitally, in addition to creating visitor and customer generating content like blogs, social media posts, videos, and even podcasts like this one you're listening to right now. Visit dfstudiosltd.com or hit up info@dfstudiosltd.com for more info. All right, so moving on now, let's talk about Devotion, right? This was a film that I was made aware of through its trailer showing numerous times every time I went to theaters. And I just had it in my mind, I really wanted to see it because I'm a boy, Jonathan Majors, right? I just find it so funny that it stars Glenn Powell, who was in
Yeah,
Top Gun Maverick.
that was
I just find
yeah,
that so
they're basically
hilarious,
proto Top Gun.
you know? And not surprising, this movie was a commercial flop, right? And I think the reason being is because it was overshadowed by Top Gun Maverick, right? And even I myself, like while I was watching the trailer, I was just kind of watching like, all right, this Korean War stuff, but
Yeah,
this kind of looked like old timey Top Gun Maverick
and
in
that's
a
pretty much
sense.
what it is. Yeah,
Yeah. So I imagine a lot of people probably went in, also probably saw that trailer and said, nah, I gotta just watch Top Gun Maverick for like the fourth time in theaters, right? Or whatever, right?
yeah.
Which is a shame, actually, right? Because I was actually hearing a lot of great things about this movie, right? Um, but yeah, and also it is directed by G.D. Dillard, right? A director that and this is actually his third feature, right? Because I remember seeing Slight, right, which was back in 2016. I thought that
Yep.
was a pretty cool sort of like contemporary, African American take on the superhero genre. I thought that was pretty cool as well, right?
Right.
I did not see Sweetheart, right, but I heard some really good things about Sweetheart. I didn't see that, right? But Devotion, again, this is his third film. Clearly, he worked with a much bigger budget here. And not just because it's a period piece, but it's a war film, right? It's essentially a war film, right? But also one that touches on race, right? And also touches on the real life figures of both Jesse Brown and Tom Hudner, right? Real life figures, right? So Ricardo, take it away. What was Devotion about?
Yeah, so it's about one of the first Black Air Force people. Not well, it's supposed to be not first Black people. He had the Tuskegee Airmen, but it was his story. Oh God, was the exact? Right. Yeah. So it's based on Adam Marcos, right? Or Adam Mako, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, it's about Todd Hutner, who basically is about focusing on his career of integration after in the Korean War. Because the Korean War had a lot of black soldiers in it actually. Right? Which funny enough, he played another black soldier in what do you call it, in Lovecraft Country, which is interesting. Korean War. Yeah, so it's just him having to deal with the particular type of play in the courses, and him having to handle just general racism and general conceits about him coming out as a black guy, and then why how and why he died and his final mission, and they just cover that scenario. Yeah, that's the rundown. That is more or less what I think it is as it is. Um, Standard, good, well shot and whatnot. But like, it didn't do anything that special. It just feel like, it feel like something that could have been on HBO. Um, that's how I feel about it. They should put this on
Oh,
something like HBO.
HBO. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
like
no, I see what you mean, but
yeah, yeah. This doesn't need to be in theaters. Because it didn't do anything that special with it. It should be something on HBO. Remember when Lawrence Fishburne had that stuff with the Tuskegee Airmen? This felt like that, but just better made and modern, like in terms of film techniques and whatnot. That's it. It didn't feel special. This is okay. I love it. I could totally understand why this flopped in the theaters because yeah, if something like this don't get real hype, it ain't gonna get no hype. Like nobody gonna watch it because it too dour and serious and it's a period piece and it had no like the action was okay like the ending, but it was just played straight now. It ain't fancy Top Gun shit. So yeah, this it's standard. It's good. Like it's good as in for a period piece, but that's what it is. You had to hype up your period pieces. Sorry to say it.
yeah, I understand what you mean in terms of the it should have been on HBO kind of thing. Because yeah, I, I don't know how to describe it, but like all right. So to be clear, right? There's a lot of good in this, right? I would say the acting is solid throughout, right? Jonathan Majors. I mean, it's Jonathan Majors right now, right? I'm not gonna put him up there as some, like the next Denzel. Oh, by the way, there are actually a couple of moments where I saw him kind of channeling his inner Denzel. Like, okay, I see a little Denzel starting to sneak out there. Okay, right? Um, but for what he's given, he was really good as well, right? But for me, it was Glenn Powell, right?
Right.
Who was always one of those like faces that you just always see in films, but you can't really like put a title to it, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's not that guy. He's a good character.
yeah, he's that guy.
Yeah,
Exactly,
he's a
right?
character actor. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that he was excellent in this, man. You know what I mean? And I like just in terms of the writing. 'Cause I think the writing really is the show's biggest strength, right? Where they don't frame, Jesse Brown as, like the magical Negro,
Right,
or,
right.
Glenn Powell as, just the white
White savior.
savior, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yes, what I mean? They both understand what's going on. Um, particularly what Jesse has to go through, right? That's Jonathan Major's character, right? Where yes, he has to deal with a lot of white people talking down to him like, "Oh, you're a black man, you're in the Navy," you know what I mean?
Right.
And making about for that. No.
What
Um,
was the actress that does Elizabeth Taylor? Was it one scene with her? If it was
yes.
associated? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The face looked familiar, right?
I can't
But
remember who was playing her. Yeah.
yeah, she is Surinder Swan, actually. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see Elizabeth Taylor this too. I would like I can't say like she looks spot on like Liz, but she get the look though. She get the
Yeah.
look, and she get the voice, and she get the mannerisms down, I must say. But I did not expect in a war film that they would have throw in Elizabeth Taylor. But it made for a really like nice bit of character development, actually, right? Um, but yeah, in terms of like Jesse's, situation, I love how there's this little running, not so much a team, but that's a little, aspect of his character that he does, right? And it was in the trailer actually where he looks himself in the mirror and he just seeing all these, like he's just doing all these self. It took at first is self-deprecating that he's doing, right? But then he actually look what really is going on. I was like, oh, okay, that actually makes sense. But yeah, those moments involving that though were excellent. Though. I must say, I would say Oscar
Yeah.
with you, right? But yeah, I just love how this show does not give you the typical cliche look at racism. This is not driving Miss Daisy. We're not getting that, right?
Right.
Where, the black man has his view on life and, his race or whatnot. And it's through the friendship of a white man that he learns a lot more. It's like, no,
Well,
it's not like that.
I was going to
It's actually
mention something
fruitful
more
of that.
recent that win the Oscar.
All
That
right,
version.
all right. Your favorite show, Green Book. Yes.
Yeah, Green. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Green Book, right? Also, I thought it was pretty brave to have it play out more like a drama, really, like a
Right.
biographical drama, more than a war film, right? And I feel that's why it wasn't well received. Like people, again, because we were spoiled by Maverick now, we want to see, dog fights. We want to see explosions in the air and planes crashing and shit. But we don't really get that. Actually, much to my surprise, we get some marine stuff on the ground, during the war and whatnot, and it actually works into a pretty like emotionally effective third act, right? Which without spoiling anything, right? But yeah, you do get some aerial stuff here or there, but not too much though. But
Yeah. Yeah.
aerial stuff is shot very well, executed very well, I must say. I read behind the scenes that it was, the director himself wanted to use practical effects. Because while I was watching those scenes, admittedly, I was asking myself if this is VFX or not. I was
Right.
asking myself that, and maybe there is some, at certain points, but I don't think there's too much use of it, right? So thankfully, right? But yeah, at the end of the day, it's really, the acting and the characters and the story that really makes this film work, right? But in no way will I say that this is some sort of like exciting, edgy seat, joyride, like say Top Gun Maverick. It's more
Right.
somber and serious, really emotionally driven, I must say. I forgot to mention to Christina Jackson. First time I'm seeing her, she actually plays Jonathan Major's wife. I thought that she would
Right.
be, the moments that she's on screen,
Yeah,
I
she was
thought that
pretty
she
good.
was
Yeah.
great as well. Yeah, and I like how they work her into the story. She's not just, the wife and the mother just waiting for her husband to come home from the war. They actually give her a purpose in the show as well. So I really appreciate that, especially in the end, right? I will say that third act in the end though really, really got to me. Like it didn't bring any man tears out of me, but I really, really felt it though. It's one of those things that you just wish could have played out a lot better, man. Like I was like just mentally like screaming at the camera at the screen like oh gosh, why are they gonna do this for? Do something, you know what I mean? But it was one of those kind of decisions, like it's either you do this or you compromise everybody involved and whatnot. It's one of
Right.
those harsh decisions, but still, I wish it played out a lot better. I wish they could have done the deed. That's all I'll say. Like, nah, boy, well, we put yourself at risk, but nah, man, like, all the other chance, man, jeez, whatever, right? But it really made for a really, like, strong, emotionally, just strong into the emotion, payoff, right, and conclusion, right? But yeah, in closing, it's solid. It's a solid film, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's not like it's not a show,
it is not
honestly.
special.
Right, exactly. Like it does not do anything overly major or spectacular or whatnot.
Yeah,
But it tells a story. It does it very well. Actually, I have to commend, JD Dillard for really coming through with a solid, third film or whatnot.
right.
You can tell that like this was a film that he was destined to make as well too. There's actually, like, if you wait till the credits, brief little dedication to his dad. I thought that was really nice as well. So you could tell that this show is near and dear to his heart, or at least his story is, right? And
Right.
you could really see the passion he put into it, right? And everybody came through and did their thing, man. But still, it is one of those shows that does not, like, it didn't bloom out the water. It didn't really do anything spectacular or major. It just kind of tells a story. You feel it and you just move on. It's like that, right? Which isn't a bad thing. But
Right.
still, I'm just glad that I watch it home and not theatrically, right? Just saying. So, rating wise, like 4 out of 5, man. I think that it is still worth checking out.
Yeah.
It's a shame that it underperformed in the box office. Again, I still feel Top Gun Maverick clearly had a had a part to play with it. Sorry, it was just the bigger movie won, right? In the box office. Sorry, right? But that doesn't mean that that there's not, that doesn't mean that the heart and emotion in this show should remain ignored, right? So
Right.
I would say give it a watch. Especially Jonathan Majors fans, because we looking out for Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, next month. So if you're like, all right, I need to catch up on, or at least for first timers to Jonathan Majors, if you just want to check out his filmography before that movie drop, then yeah, I would say check out Devotion, man.
Right.
You're Ricardo, you're fine. What's to read it?
Yeah, written about a 7 out of 10 actually. Again, it's well made, but it's not not special. Like it in that sense. No, it didn't need to be in theaters, as they say. It just there and it's fine. Like it moving on. I give it, yeah, it's good. It's well made. So I can't be like pulling from it or anything like that. But it's fine. Moving on. It's not that bad. And what it does, at least it does dismantle white savior narrative. It does an okay job with that. That's like the core thing. But I really felt they could have done more with this and make it smarter and whatever it is. Well, moving on. Next. Again,
Yeah.
I saw this a while back, so I was like, I didn't mention it or we're talking about it. It was like it didn't make my best of list or anything like that. It was okay. Just come and go on for me. Yeah.
And up next, keeping with the historical films, let's talk for a bit about Argentina 1985, right?
Sure.
So I'll confess, this was a show that I was not familiar with it at all, but
Right.
it only caught my eye when I saw that it won the Golden Globe Award for Best Foreign Language Film, right? Or I should say,
Right.
Best Non-English Language Film, right?
Mhm.
So, which instantly told me that, all right, this have a chance of winning at the Oscars, right? Which is, well, by the way, which the nominees, the nominee list, now the official nominee list, will be coming out tomorrow at the time of us recording this, right?
Right.
So I'm definitely looking out for that, right? But the subject matter was pretty interesting as well, even though I'm not familiar with everything around it, right? That would be the trial of the juntas, right?
Right.
Way back in 1985, right? And just all the stuff that was going on, the court trial itself surrounding that, right? But yeah, me going into this, I had no idea what was going on. Sorry, what I didn't have like any context basically, right? But I knew that the show will at least guide me and let me understand exactly what is going on and why it matters to this day. And I would say that this show does that very, very well, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Ricardo, if you don't mind, again, just want to run through what this movie is about.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, this is about basically the fallout of the Argentine Dirty War, and mostly the trial of the juntas themselves, how bad things was, how these people were just so just so brutal, and then just covering all of those war crimes, well, internal war crimes within the framework of Argentina. Think of it as kind of all the president's men really grounded, kind of like Spotlight, very grounded conceits of how you play this out and how the lawyers play it out, and there's the drama into that, and there's nice historical legal drama. Yeah, that's it. And why it works pretty well for what it is. Uh, quick, basically just we fall out of the dictatorship, the drama and all of that play out from it. And yeah, they just play it as thing. And they do something that I think they did, which is they kind of play the whole real footage, really show it as realistic footage kind of thing. So like one of my favorite
Yeah,
movies.
they actually did that near the end of the film. Actually, I thought
Right, right.
that was very very well done, and the
Yeah,
timing
yeah.
of it was great too.
Yeah, that's good editing and cut it in between real footage stuff. And yeah, it reminded me a little bit of what do you call it, boy? One of my favorite movies of the last decade, a movie called No by Pablo Larraín.
Ah,
Similar,
yes, yes.
yeah, similar conceits. You're playing the conceit of the coming out of the worst of the worst within a period. That was a Chilean film. This is an Argentine situation, and yeah, they played of how kind of disturbing some of the stuff in Argentina is. I forget what's the name of that movie with the woman. Oh, God, it slipped my mind. And there's a real good movie about that. All of the really unfortunate situations of children getting kidnapped and they send children to get adopted. And it's about this woman who's a history teacher. Oh, what's the name of that movie, boy? It's slipped my mind.
When did it come out?
A long time. It's a hot minute, like in the 90s or something.
Okay.
It'll come to me. But
Right.
it's about history itself and how you interpret history and whatnot. And yeah, they make a real good courtroom drama about this idea. But it's really just the lawyers and everybody involved with the law and who was doing what and why. And it just again it's akin to Spotlight more than anything, to be honest. I think the kind of the American equivalent. I kind of think of it off the top of my head. Yeah, I thought this was pretty good. I didn't super love it, but it's just again production value that's off the chart. It looks good. It's played really straight and run really well done. They had what do you call him, Stracera and Ocampo. These two guys who just keep the nose to the grindstone and make it work. In terms of just getting these guys and all the evidence they need to build up. And yeah, it's just that whole history of dirty war stuff. This story kind of, I won't say it's close to me, but like a big chunk of my second book is all about this. So that's why I was mostly familiar with the material, and I saw this a while back
Okay,
as well.
okay.
Yeah. So it does that. But yeah, I'm really glad and happy that this winning stuff for it is. But yeah, I thought this was excellent. Probably one of my favorite films of last year, but I didn't see it last year. I saw it very early this year, so I didn't put it on my list. I saw it like after, like literally like 2 days after we did all this. Actually, I put it on my list of stuff I didn't see. I forget at the time. But yeah, great. I thought it was pretty damn good. How you're supposed to do this kind of stuff and how it's played like very documentary style, like that Verity kind of approached it, how they cut it, how it's edited, and how well done it is. I thought this was excellent. But yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, well, I didn't love it as much as you did. I'm
Yeah,
actually surprised and not surprised at the same time that you enjoyed it so much. But yeah, this was still a very, very, very well executed film, though, I must say, boy, from top to bottom, right? I love how the show like eases you into what's going on, right? And I also love that it does not hold your hand and tell you every single detail as to what's going on. They give you the facts and they give you enough of it for you to understand how big of a deal it is, right? Stracera, right? The lead, played by Ricardo Darren. I thought that he was great. I love
yeah,
how he is just the everyman basically, right? I just love how it's set up early on that he just doesn't want to be involved in this because he just sort of fears for his life and the life of his daughter, his son, and his wife, right? And that they take it, all
yeah.
right, you just like
Yes.
overblown it. You're taking things a little too seriously, but then you realize, oh shit, no, people
Oh
can
yeah.
die. Like
Oh,
shit is
that
real, with
thing with
this.
it, that's what make it so disturbing is that it wasn't like outright open hatred, like with how the duty war players, like yeah, those people just casual, and then your daughter don't come home from school one day. That is it. Like it's not even you do it like these people never used to really warn you all that much about this kind of stuff. It was just like, oh no, you're a problem or you're a dissident or whatever it is, you had to go. Yeah, and they just it's just super disturbing how it was played out. It wasn't like too much violence or anything like that until the violence actually happened. Like it's not like America, how American violence used to play out, where they park burning cross and do this. Nah, I mean it was real brutal. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they will strap bombs to your car, Dread. I mean, there's
That's
actually a
right.
great moment involving, Strasera, like, him and his son there, being about to walk it towards the guy. Like, I just love, right? Just like spoiler. They don't even like question it. They just stop, and
Yeah,
he's like, all right, we just gonna take the bus, and that's it.
yeah,
Yeah. I just love how he's paired, with Ocampo, right? To be
Yeah.
played by Peter Lanzani, right? How they bounce off each other is great. Be that like, Chisera is the sort of cynical one, and Ocampo is like, all right, I'm doing this, you know what I mean? But it's not so much that it's a big deal, right? But like he doesn't. It's almost like Chisera. Like it's almost like Chisera thinks that Ocampo doesn't know how big of a deal this is, right?
Yeah.
But he actually does, and he actually shows him that yes, this is a big deal, and I'm concerned for you, and I want you to get through this, right? I just love how like the Chisera himself sort of slides into this case. You know what I mean? I love that they actually brought in a team to help them out. I mean, these things aren't familiar when it comes to like courtroom dramas or whatnot, but how it's played in this film, I thought it worked very well, right? One thing the show also does well is the balancing of tones, right? So, like with that moment now involving where you're seeing these younger lawyers, and they introduce themselves to the read and whatnot. It's not really played for laughs, but it just sort of lightens the tone basically, right? So you could kind of smile, and the music in the background, supports that, right? But then no, you get like, which is for me probably the best moment of this film for me, when they actually get to like the testimonies themselves, way, and then the music sort of switches and it gets dark now, right? And you're just hearing these grim, really disturbing stories. There's one involving a mother about to give birth.
Hmm.
I don't even want to spoil anything beyond that, boy, but wow, wow, that was rough, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, how it's just how the tone switches there, and how it cuts back with things that are going on behind the scenes and whatnot, how people are responding to it, and then of course, as you mentioned before, um, archival footage and whatnot. Yeah, like just that particular sequence is, yeah, probably the best scene best sequence in this entire film, all right? But yeah, I mean, editing, direction, acting is strong throughout. The music I thought was very well handled as well, right? And just overall, I just really love how this show is just able to, like for people like me who have who didn't have any context as to what was going on, yeah, pretty much state and show you what happened and why, and how big of why it's still a big deal, right? And yeah, again, it really makes sense why a movie like this would win, mini Golden Globe Award, man. I was saying this right off the bat. I'm hoping right now, because again, anytime of us recording this, the Oscar, or I should say the Oscar nominee list has not come out as yet, so it's coming out the day afterwards, the day
Right.
after us talking here, right? Yeah, I would be happy if this movie shows up, and I'd be even happier if it wins.
Yeah.
Because I think at the end of the day, it's just the heart and the truth of it. Really, what the show is about is just the truth, but just getting deep into the truth and letting the world know about it, not being afraid about it, not giving in to one's fear. I mean, it's the truth. People need to know about this. Even though at the time Argentina was, was a democracy, right? Yeah, what I mean, they had all these years of, dictatorship and hell to
Yeah,
deal with, right?
it's a lot. It's a lot. Oh, I forget what the term is used in Argentina, but it's called it the rift now, or something
Uh-huh.
like that. I think, and then basically it's just like you see how it have a culture war in the states. Like they
Right.
have a real brutal culture. And yeah, it's a lot of people supporting that shipping is well after it ended. So yeah, it's interesting how it is play out. Like even if those guys did all these crimes or with this, people attitude was, oh well, don't act as if we do something and we just want to get off scot free and that's the only reason we want to get away. And it's like, no, fuck you, you had to go down. Sorry. That is a really interesting history how that play out. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Agreed. Yeah. You're absolutely right, man. So yeah, even though I am not the biggest fan of courtroom dramas, to be honest,
Right.
this still entertained me. It still had me engaged for its 2 hour and 20 minute runtime, man. And yeah, this was a solid film throughout, man. So
Yeah.
rating wise, I'm gonna give this a decent, strong 4 out of 5, man. I absolutely recommend this. I would say if you're just not a fan of courtroom dramas, this really wouldn't really do anything for you. But if you just like yourself some world history, and if you don't mind reading subtitles for 2 hours and 20 minutes, you will enjoy this. You will be entertained by this, right? And it's really insightful, really emotionally heartfelt, and yeah, it just touched on pretty much a dark period in South American history,
Yeah.
and just how these brave individuals came and just say, you know what, nah, we want to shine a light on this thing, man. Let the people who suffer through this, get the justice that they deserve and whatnot, right? So yeah, powerful film, strong film, well deserving of that Golden Globe win. And again, I could see this winning, best non-English language speaking film at the Oscars, man. So just hoping at the moment, at the time of me seeing this and recording this, that it gets nominated for the Oscars, man. I
Yeah.
mean, this is an easy shoe-in, man. You know what I mean? And I'll be happy again if it wins. You know what I mean? So yeah. So Ricardo, your final thoughts and rating?
Yeah, about an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this for it is again just well made overall, and then the subject matter is really something that was always interesting to me. Well, a big part of my writing it also. I've been doing a lot of research on the material as well, so it was close, and it just did such a good job of addressing these ideas and concepts. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for me, like, probably closer to a 9 to be honest. But yeah, I just thought it was pretty damn good in terms of what they're telling the story, very grounded, they played it nice. Although where's the movie it reminded me of a little bit too. It's the movie it's
Wait,
Robert Downey
it says
Jr.
Spotlight.
Not Spotlight, with Robert Downey Jr. The other crime drama.
Zodiac, is it?
Zodiac. A little bit of
yeah.
that. A little bit of like actual history stuff, intersplice kind of thing. That it felt a little bit like that. Everything real warm, and how the colors was and these kind of things. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bit your language.
Also, I'd mention props to the color graded and cinematography. This was this movie looks stellar in my opinion. It looks damn good, like, yeah.
Damn good. You're right. So yeah. 8 out of 10. I'll say probably closest to a 9. So, but yeah, I dug it. For it was. Yeah, nice one.
All right, nice.